Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special JoyClicks prediction discussion debrief, I guess. I don't know. I'm my name's Christian. I'm here, joined as always for a fun prediction talk with my good friend Omar Nakvi. How are you?
Yo, I'm doing great. Sean, it's great to be back for another E3 season, I guess. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It feels like it's about to rain right now. I'm sipping on coffee. It's a good day for media consumption. And then PlayStation is kicking off E3 despite not really doing E3 for the last, like 5 years, right?
God, 5 years, I think.
Maybe. 2018 was the last one they did, I think.
Was it? Was that the one where they were like running around venues?
Yeah, that was the Last of Us Church thing. I actually rewatched that a couple nights ago, the first half of it.
How was that?
It was it was weird, man. I miss Sean Layden so much.
Me too.
Yeah. He had a great, fantastic introduction to that show, and then it was like they cut to that weird thing with Sid Schumann outside for like 20 minutes when they were funneling people to the night. What a show. What a weird show.
That's the one with the big like widescreen for like Ghost of Tsushima and the flute guy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I miss E3.
Me too, man. It's rough because it's just such a fun time because it all usually like coalesces with everything, and I don't think we're gonna get that this year. Like we might get part of that this year, right? Between like Xbox and the Keighley show, and I hope a Direct. But we have this now. This morning, PlayStation tweeted out a link to a PlayStation blog post. I'll read directly off the blog from Rhett Elston. Tune in live at 3 p.m. Pacific time for nearly 30 minutes of trailers and announcements for a state of play. Worthy of mentioning, state of play expectations for that are very much not the PlayStation Media showcases. Kevin Diaz of PlayStation Source has made this abundantly clear every time we talk PlayStation that there is the state of plays of the world and then the media showcases. And the showcases are where you get like
Gran Turismo 5 PS5.
Sure, you get that.
Sorry, Gran Turismo. GTA, my bad.
You get Infamous 2. You get Spider-Man 2. Like you get all those sorts of things at the showcase, which I've had a feeling was going to be September. There were rumors that there was going to be a June show, and now we know. June show that is focusing on, directly from their words, exciting reveals from our third-party partners, plus a sneak peek at several games in development for PlayStation VR2. So, that is what we got going into this thing. Off the rip, are you excited for this at all, based off of the context, a half-hour PlayStation show? How do you feel about state of plays? What's your head at right now?
I'm excited. I think state of plays are usually bad, to be honest. Or not bad, but I'm not too interested in the games they show sometimes, you know? Mm-hmm. Definitely the distinction between the showcase and these are as clear as day. But I am looking forward to it, because there was that one time they showed off Final Fantasy VII Remake in there, and I thought that was super cool. So anything can happen.
Yeah, so why don't we start there then, right? Because state of plays, I'm with you, are typically hit or miss. I think early on,
yeah, they're pretty
they didn't
mid.
really know. Yeah, they didn't really know what to do with them. I think one of the first ones was their answer to E3 in 2019. Remember, we got like the 10-minute Death Stranding thing where we finally saw gameplay and had that really cool song that was playing throughout the entire 10 minutes. So, like they can use state of plays for however they want, but as they're saying third-party stuff, and you bring up the Final Fantasy VII one, third-party partners, what better way to start than Final Fantasy 16? Is this going to show up here, Omar?
Oh, I hope so. I really do. The last time we saw it was one of the September showcases, right?
I think so, yeah.
It's time to see Final Fantasy 16 again, I think. They're always talking about it. That guy was saying, like, oh yeah, we're going to have a trailer kind of soon. Don't you worry. And I don't know if Square Enix is really going to have a presentation this year, and Sony seems to be paying up for Final Fantasy. There was that Final Fantasy VII reveal at one point. I think it's time, Christian. I think it's time for Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, I think you're right because there was initially supposed to be a showing last fall, and then they were like, "Oh, we're not going to show it yet," because I think the entire time last year it was like, "Oh, summer will be a 16 update,"
Hmm.
and September rolled around, TGS. It was like this is like the last chance for them to do something, and then they were like, "We're not quite ready yet, but we'll show it soonish." And then earlier this year, I believe it was Yoshi P, who is the 14 guy who's also leading 16, said something similar of like, "Hey, yeah, it's very close to being shown." Um, when they showed it initially, because I think it's been shown 2 times at this point, maybe
I think it might have just been
it
that one time.
was it really. Dang,
I think so, but I don't know.
I feel like there was the reveal trailer, and then there was like a beefy thing that was like a little more information, and they showed off like some of those characters transforming into the gods or
I
something
think
like
that was
that.
the very. I think that was the one trailer that like they showed it with like a
Dang.
lot of shit, and then they've been secret and quiet about it since.
Okay. Well, that I just proves my point further. When we saw it, we saw a lot. So like,
Yeah,
uh, and the buzz lately is that the game has been done for a bit. It's just polished right now. So I think it's likely we see it. I guess the next question is, do you think it gets a date for this year?
uh, yes, I believe. I believe. I
Fuck
do.
yeah.
But also, I need to say I would completely be not surprised if it doesn't show up here, just because I think that game is weird
Yeah.
in terms of the way they're showing it. But I think when they do show it, and if it's next week, they're going to show it with a release date in like for this year. 'Cause I think they're just waiting to know that it's going to be ready. I think
That makes sense to me.
like a
Right?
Fallout
Because,
4 kind of
like,
thing, right?
sure, yeah. And I think there's also been some buzz about maybe Forspoken being delayed again to make room for 16, and I don't know if you would need to delay Forspoken out of the fall. What is it, October right now? If you were gonna launch 16 in like February of next year. So like I think it makes sense. Again, it looked really finished when we saw it before. So yeah, I think if it does show up, which I'm betting on it showing up, we definitely get a date, and I would be surprised if it was 2023. So
Forspoken would benefit from probably a January, February kind of date.
yeah, I think so. Do you think that's going to show up here? Because that's another big third party thing that they've been pushing, and I don't think we've seen it for a while at this point.
Yes, I bet it does. I I don't need to see any more of that, but I bet it'll be here.
Yeah, I'm good. I think like I could even play it if I wanted to because what is it? It's PS5 and PC only, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I think there's an Xbox like store page listing, but
I did see that, yeah.
yeah,
But yeah,
years away.
I'm good. I think on Forspoken. Curious to see how it
Oh,
turns out, but I'm I'm good. I think.
oh,
Uh oh, here's another question. If we want to get like super conspiracy, do you think
uh-huh.
16 is gonna announce a PS4 release?
Oh yeah, yes,
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
so.
so too. I think so
I
too.
mean, I'm shocked that Integrate isn't on PS4 yet. I still think that's gonna happen, that Yuffie
Hmm.
stuff. But
Sure.
no, yeah, I think 16 is a PS4 game. I think it always was too, to be honest. But I think they've been hush hush about it.
I think so too, because I went back to the original reveal a while ago, and I think it said something like coming to like exclusively to PlayStation consoles and PC,
Oh
or
really?
maybe that like it might have said like PS5 console first or something like that. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, when we saw it, it looked like a game that existed, and like I think at that initial showing, we also saw Miles Morales, and Miles Morales looked more next gen at the time than
Sure.
what we saw of 16, and that was a cross gen game. So
To be fair though, I expect Final Fantasy 16 will graphically look like way different next time we see it.
yeah, it's gonna I'm sure look beautiful,
I think
and
they're gonna beef it up.
yeah, what we
But yeah, I
saw is maybe what would work on a PS4, but what
maybe.
we will see is gonna be, I think,
Yeah, that
incredible.
was such a great reveal, man.
Yeah, it was
Crazy
so
for
good.
Final Fantasy to reveal itself like, oh man, there's a finished game.
I know, just very. Very weird, but
Also, I think
uh,
Square loves to announce not bad news, but different platforms later. Anyways, like of course, Final Fantasy 13 was a PlayStation 3 exclusive for years until it wasn't. So
that's a
Square
good
can
point.
do what they want. I bet it'll be on PS4.
I don't know when this is getting thrown in there because it's probably gonna be awkward no matter what. But Resident Evil 4 remake is absolutely gonna show up in this thing.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 remake is happening. Hello. Yeah, that's gonna be here. That's gonna open the show, maybe.
Yeah, that absolutely has to be here because
Yeah.
like I did think that I can't believe I didn't fucking think of this because RE4 I was gonna say like oh maybe RE4 VR would be announced for the VR2 but like that's a Facebook developed game or something so
Yeah, I
like
think that's an Oculus thing. But unless could they get around it? I think they could get around it if it's like it's a remake, it's a new RE4, and it's got a VR component.
that would
Because
be super cool.
honestly, dude, like I think Village is such a I think Village probably gets a VR component too. That could be totally announced right here.
Yeah, I stunned I forgot about this because I was talking to Owen about Village DLC maybe showing up at this because they announced it at their showcase at the Capcom thing last year. They were like, "Hey, apparently you
Yeah.
guys like Village, so we're gonna make DLC for it."
We were surprised, but the game sold pretty well.
Yeah. So
That was so fucking weird, dude.
Resident Evil in some capacity will absolutely be here, 100%. I'm more certain of that than 16, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 will be here, and they honestly, dude, Shadow Drop Resident Evil 2 and 3 current gen upgrades right
Oh
here.
yeah, dude.
Maybe.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Resident Evil show now. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is it. How do we
Yeah.
forget?
I'm
Or maybe I'm
ashamed.
excited.
I'm ashamed. Yeah, dude. I mean, if Ari is not here in some capacity, I'll be very upset. But like,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, because they did that reveal of Resident Evil 2 remake after it was announced when they did like the "oh we do it" thing, and it disappeared for like 7 years or whatever, and then it just showed up randomly at that last E3 they did that we were talking
Right.
about, the weird E3.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes complete sense for PlayStation to snag that because they even revealed Village at the last like the PS5 June showcase. So
Totally. I think honestly too, like I think the most important game for PSVR was probably Resident Evil 7 in the grand scheme of things.
yeah, it was like the one. It was that and
Yeah.
Astrobot. That was it.
Right.
So
So
yeah, RE4 and it's gonna look fucking sweet.
hell yeah.
So
I would love them to also do a VR upgrade for like 2 and 3 with first person camera. If that could be possible. I don't know.
that'd be so cool. Yeah, I mean, it's the same engine as 7,
It is.
right? And
And it's not like it's pre-rendered backgrounds.
yeah, and there's first person mods for RE2 on
Yeah.
PC, and there's third person mods for RE7 on PC. I'm sure it
Right.
can be. I'm sure
You
it can
can
be
pick
done.
your poison.
Yeah. So I think there's a very minimal, small chance that RE4 is so big that it turns into a Keeley reveal because that feels like it would be a Keeley reveal. But at the very least, I think Village DLC is
Yeah.
for sure at this thing. So I'm hyped. I love Village. So
Yeah. Hell yeah.
okay. Is that all the Resident Evil out of your system?
That's all I can think of.
Okay.
I think that's the last thing we can add.
Yeah. Me too. Another reveal that has happened much more recently that we've already texted about this morning. Big Sony energy, exclusive before Street Fighter 6. Do you think that's going to show up here?
I think so. Do we know if it's a Sony partnership yet? Because
I would-
I think they would probably buy the announcement, but I doubt it'll be an exclusive thing like 5 was.
Yeah, I'm in a similar point where 5 launched in a very different time for Capcom, where Capcom is like arguably one of, if not the strongest third-party publishers right now, in my opinion at least.
Yeah.
And Street Fighter 5 seemed like it was sort of one of the good things they had at the time. So seeing like since then Monster Hunter blow up, Resident Evil be revitalized, Mega Man and have a little bit of a comeback. Like, I would be shocked if they'd want Street Fighter to be tied to one platform. So yeah, I think you're right. Like, I don't think it's going to be an exclusive, but I could see them, especially because they own like Evo now, want to just announce that as like a fun thing. Maybe
Yeah,
an exclusive character or content or something. I don't know.
for sure. I forgot they own Evo, to be honest. Maybe they do want to buy it outright. I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of crazy. But
Are you a big Street Fighter guy?
I'm a big Street Fighter appreciator. I buy every game and I play a bit, but I can't really play online. But I like to play arcade mode. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, I always try to get into them every time. But people are really good at those games, it turns out.
Yeah, it's my extent of like fighting game skill kind of stops with Mortal Kombat, and even then, it's not good. So,
Sure.
oh
I think
boy.
this will. It's always a fun time to get in on a Street Fighter when it launches. I think you and I should pick this up and try and grind it out. Rise to the
Do you
top.
think do you think they're gonna announce like a beta or something?
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, that'd be cool.
It's not coming out this year, is it? Did they announce that, or is it next year?
I don't think so. I don't think
Okay.
it has a date yet, but
Did Capcom, did
I
that
mean-
leaked document have a date?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Outside of that, I don't know. Oh, Hogwarts Legacy is the other one that I think has a good chance of being here. I know it did get its own state of play already, but that is like their big champion of the holiday season third party stuff right now. So I
Yeah.
imagine we'd see it again.
They probably will.
But
Jimbo.
he's gotta be a ride or die for the Brits. You know, it's just the UK pride. I don't know. Let's move on.
Yeah.
PSVR2 is also on the list. Is there anything that you can think of starting there before we just get to wild third party stuff?
Like, okay. I think it's interesting. I don't know. Do you think we see a PSVR2 date here? And it's like this year?
I honestly I don't know because the blog I feel like is usually pretty good about setting expectations for hardware stuff. Like I remember when the PS5 thing was everybody was waiting for it and they were like, "Hey, we're not talking about hardware." So they don't say they're not talking about hardware. They just say we're talking about games for VR2. But I think it would be weird if they intend to launch it this year and we don't see a date. Do you think we see a date for it?
I think so. I feel like, if it was going to be next year at this point, I think they would delay showing it a bit like this.
Sure.
I'm expecting it for this year.
So, sneak peek at several games in development for PSVR 2. I don't want to be like the particular word person, but I feel like there's a chance they could show first party stuff for VR here.
Oh, yeah.
I know they announced the Horizon VR game. I think Fire Sprite is working on that. So
I don't even know if, PSVR 2 dev kits really got out there in a way that they need to be. Like, I remember, you remember that game Moss?
yeah,
Like, those guys just launched a game on PSVR 1, the sequel to that, in March. And as late as March 27th, it seemed like they did not have PSVR 2 dev kits, which is strange to me. Because they seem like they're some of PlayStation's favorite partners in terms of that stuff. So I'm expecting a lot of first-party stuff if they do have games to show. There's that Horizon game, right? Is that what you just said?
yeah. I think there's a chance maybe we see that, but I also think it's very likely that we could just see a lot of ports of things that have been on other platforms. Like, do you think we could see an Alex announcement at this?
What announcement?
A Half-Life Alex.
Oh,
Like a port.
yeah, totally. That could totally be happening. Honestly, I think that will happen. That game will totally come to PSVR 2. And if there's a third party game in a show, it's probably that one. And that seemed like something that would happen in the state of play. I don't think you show PSVR 2 without Astrobot.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you need that because I did have a VR headset and I played Rescue Mission and I adore that game, and I think seeing just the love that has been there for Playroom with the PS5 launch, like it makes sense to use that game and that studio to showcase the hardware.
Totally.
So even if it is just like another 2 hour thing like Playroom and not a full Astrobot Rescue Mission sequel, I think it's likely that there will be some Astro thing when the console or when the headset launches. So
Definitely.
yeah,
Kojima?
I do want. Oh yeah, please! I would love a
I think
Kojima VR thing.
here's what I think could happen. I think like we could get another PT moment from Kojima with VR, and we don't know it's his thing.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah. The only problem with that is I feel like maybe they in terms of the actual demo, because no one has the headset yet, that'd be kind of tricky.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe there's a trailer and it's like, be excited for this. I don't know. Like the Moby Dick thing, and then everyone figures it out like a minute later.
Yeah. I also like as much as I love that, I feel like they might be scared by Abandon now.
Yeah. Maybe.
But I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it'd be super cool if even we got like Death Stranding the VR missions or something. I don't know, like just
Yeah, that'd be
something
neat.
on his front. But yeah, curious to see the rollout of the headset. How much it takes up of this half hour, but that's really the main stuff that I think has a decent shot of being a lock. So I just want to hear what you're expecting out of the rest of this show. Like, are there any third party things you've been waiting on hearing about that you think could be here, or wild dreams? I don't know.
I figure that Last of Us remake is probably here, right?
Really?
It it sounds like it's going to be this year. From Jeff Grubb stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's this year for sure. I just wonder
Uh-huh.
if it shows up here.
Yeah. When
Like,
else would it show? Like September or something? And it come out in like
yeah,
2 months? I guess I could do that.
I think they could also show it at Keeley, honestly. Like,
Oh, yeah. That's true.
I looked at his thing from last year, and obviously the big moment was Elden Ring, but within that show, they did have two PlayStation things. There was the announcement of Death Stranding Director's Cut, and you could say that that's just the Kojima connection. But there was also a sequence in the show from Insomniac that was like, hey, here's a little bit of Ratchet, and then after this
Oh, yeah.
afternoon, we're going to stream the first hour on our Twitch or something. So
That makes
I
sense.
don't think it's out of the question that we could see PlayStation give Keeley a thing, even though lately they just seem very, we want to control our own stuff. And I think a Last of Us remake at a show like Keeley makes sense, kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, he announced that game at the VGAs, right?
Yeah, you did.
So, okay, you know what? You sold me. That'll happen then.
For sure, yeah. I mean,
God of War
it's
date.
also
Oh, sorry.
it's I'm just gonna say it's also they're saying third party stuff. So do you think that they'd come out with a surprise first party news drop here?
Maybe not. I guess they do kind of stick to that third party stuff. When did we see Wolverine? Was that like a showcase?
That was the September show last year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it's just third party stuff. Maybe we see Pragmata again. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't really think of anything too wild, man. My brain, my imagination's not there.
Yeah, I think it's difficult because last year we saw lots of third parties do their own thing where it's like we don't know if like is everybody's big thing gonna be at the Keeley stage? Is everybody gonna do their own fun event in July? Like it's still kind of up in the air, so it's hard to like pinpoint expectations, I think.
Yeah.
But
Anything crazy you can think of?
I could see
Sly 5.
that'd be cool.
I don't
But
believe that, man. I'm gonna be a downer. I don't think anyone's working on Sly 5 right now.
Yeah, it seems unlikely, I think. But whenever we see a Sly thing again, I don't think I'm going to be surprised at that point. But
Definitely. That's way less surprising than Jack coming back.
yeah, if Jack and Daxter ever comes back, I will be surprised. I mean, I know there's like that show they're talking about, but I don't think. Is HBO a third party partner? Could we see the end of the Last of Us trailer?
Oh, maybe.
Imagine the rage.
That'd be crazy.
Jermon's like, we got one more thing for you. Fans of The Last of Us, pay attention, and then it cuts to the HBO trailer.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's technically a remake, right?
It is.
So, I guess the last question is: do you think there could be any announcements for their subscription service that's launching like a week later? Like any third-party news there? Do we see Square bring like the Pixel remasters to console finally? Like anything that's not exciting but likely, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that service seems like such an afterthought to me. I think we'll like never see it mentioned in a live video capacity. Do you know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah,
it's always
that's
going to
fair.
be like blog post updates like, "Hey, we just added a couple of these." Picture remasters feels like such a direct thing to me. But like Square and Sony love that Final Fantasy thing right now. So like maybe that is there in a little throwaway.
Final Fantasy IX remake.
Is it near time? Near 3?
Maybe. When was Automata?
2017.
Okay. And Replicant was last year?
Yeah.
And then there was that mobile game, right? That's like also last year, I think.
Yes.
Maybe this year. So yeah, I think that could maybe show up here for sure, yeah.
Sonic Frontiers.
Ooh, well, here's the thing. Sega does love that Xbox right now. You know?
True. I
Do
can't
they
imagine Phil
save-
Spencer showing Sonic on stage though.
I think Phil Spencer believes in Sonic Frontiers. I think he gets the vision, you know?
Okay. I hope so.
Yeah, me
I hope
too.
I get the vision, to be honest.
You will, as soon as you see him run up a big colossi and start getting possessed by some dark energy, you'll be in, I'm sure. So,
Gotta be Blue Point time soon too, huh? I guess they're first party now.
maybe, yeah. That's the thing, dude. I feel like so many of the old PlayStation third-party strong relationships, they've either bought at this point or Xbox bought them. So like,
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, there's
Deathloop
always
DLC?
these have. Oh my god, yeah. I feel like Deathloop and was like dominating these for a decade.
yeah, because technically, even though it's still an Xbox studio, like it'd be a third party agreement, right? And I could see a world where Deathloop DLC was in development. Did the other
yeah.
Dishonored games get DLC? I think one of them
Totally.
did. Right?
Yeah, they got if one got a DLC, then two got like its own like separate kind of standalone expansion.
Okay. Then yeah, I think that's my wild prediction. I think Deathloop's gonna get DLC, and it'll be the one more thing.
Modern Warfare 2.
Ooh. Well, yeah, because they still have the exclusive benefit agreement stuff for this
Apparently.
game, I think. So, yeah. There's no announcement for like a full gameplay reveal of that yet, right? Or is it the same day? Or,
No, I mean there's a leak. There's a rumor on the trailer. It says J8th 22. If people
Okay.
think it's June 8th, maybe we'll see a big reveal. But,
Yeah, that makes sense because that's like the week of all the other stuff. So, PlayStation kicking off the not E3 season with maybe a safe show after this conversation. Like 16 wouldn't be safe, but like it's gonna happen, you know.
Yeah. I keep thinking. I feel like we'll see a Blue Point thing within the next month, if not by September. Because you think about
'cause-
it, 2 years ago, it was the first time we saw the Demon Souls remake.
That is
I
true.
think. And then 2 years before that, Shadow of the Colossus was like had just come out.
That is true.
So if we're at a 2-year clip, something's bound to happen.
Yeah,
And
I think
it's
that's.
Yarnum.
Oh man. Yeah,
Ye
that's
old
gonna be.
Hunters.
They'll throw that to Keeley. They don't care about Bloodborne anymore.
Oh my god, true. Yeah, dude, Keeley should be the one making Bloodborne whatever happened right now, probably.
Yeah, I think that's a lock.
Right.
I think there is one thing I remembered that seems fitting to be the final point.
Uh-huh.
Does any of the 3 Silent Hill projects show up at this?
Ooh. Yes, it's time.
Which one?
Bloober.
So that is the Silent Hill 2 remake, if rumors are correct.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. That makes sense to be the thing PlayStation chooses to show, right? Because everybody loves Silent Hill 2. I don't know if everybody who loves Silent Hill 2 is happy about this news, so it seems like the big good scoop.
Yeah, it feels like a perfect state of play thing where like Konami isn't like that confident in it, and they just show it to like, yeah, just you throw it in there. We don't need it to be a showcase thing.
Yeah. Man. All right. Well,
Wait,
yep.
Mark Cerny. He has to make a video game again at some point.
He does.
I know he's not third party, but like, I don't know. I want to see Knack 3 or whatever he's making next soon. I'm hoping.
I think you lead with that at the next show, at the showcase.
Okay.
You crack
Also,
open with a Mark Cerny platformer.
Last prediction, there is a new Ape Escape and it's a PSVR2 thing.
I would lose my mind if that was the case. I mean, I know some people were like, oh, well, you're collecting the bots in Astrobot, so it's basically the Ape Escape game. No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same thing. You need to be hitting apes with that lightsaber and then throwing nets on them. That's got to happen. I think that is. It makes too much sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming back with this service. It's not going to be ideal because it's going to be the PAL version.
They're testing the waters.
They are.
But
when people,
yeah, so go ahead.
When people play that poor frame rate version of Ape Escape, they'll be like, wow, this is such a cool thing. If only it was better. And their answer to it being better will be 120 frames on our VR screen. That's you right. Go.
That's so. Right. Yeah, okay, let's lock that in. Ape Escape 4 or Ape Escape something. It's virtual reality.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see it June 2nd. That's happening.
I want to believe. I'll co-sign that. I'm convinced you got
We're
me.
all in. All right, cool.
Ape Escape 2. No, Ape Escape VR. There's already an Ape Escape 2. But you know what?
Ape
Just
Escape
call it
PSVR2.
Yeah. Pull a God of War. They love doing that. It's just Ape Escape.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. It's the
also, Star Wars game?
I don't know.
I feel like someone's going to have a Star Wars VR game.
True. Yeah, there is a couple, I think.
Or the Ninja Theory one, Darth Vader, or whatever. Yeah,
there's like the one about the theme park location, like in universe.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's on PSVR.
Oh, true. Did you ever play the that Criterion Battlefront little thing?
I don't think I did, no.
It was like awesome, dude. Maybe Need for Speed's here.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you think? Well, yeah, because I feel like PlayStation's revealed a Need for Speed in the past, right?
Yeah, and I don't think EA is gonna have an event unless they do. I don't know.
They're not.
Maybe this is where Sony announces, "Hello, we are acquiring Electronic Arts. I love football. I'm Jim Ryan." I know.
Yeah, maybe. I could see some EA stuff happen here. Maybe the Star Wars Celebration is going on right now, so like everybody's assuming Fallen Order news is this weekend, but I could maybe see it pop up at a PlayStation thing next week.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That feels like an Xbox thing to me, to be honest.
Sure, I do think it'd be more likely than the other PlayStation Star Wars thing of the KOTOR remake.
Mm-hmm.
Because very recently they talked about like I think Saber Interactive is like assisting Aspire on the development of that thing now. So I don't think we're gonna see that for at least another year or more at this point. So
Dude, I totally forgot about that. Who's
yeah,
assisting the development?
Saber Interactive.
They're assisting with KOTOR?
Yes, they are joining. So I think Saber is a parent company of Aspire. So Aspire was leading development on it, and Saber is hopping on board to assist now.
Okay.
So,
I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if that showed up here, but also, yeah, they announced that way too early.
yeah,
Like, I don't mind hearing about it, but, like, that looked like it was like, oh my god, this is a while out.
yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be a minute before we see anything from that.
Would
So.
we get Fortnite Battle Pass news here?
I mean, the season launches the day after. So, or the current season ends on June 3rd, so maybe they could do something here, but
You buy the Obi-Wan skin yet?
I haven't. I'm planning on it though.
All right.
So,
Word.
yeah, dude. I don't know what the expectations for the show would be. I am very curious to hear what Kevin Diaz thinks about what's going to go down on this show. But
For sure. Oh, not to extend this out way too long. I know we said short, but PC ports here maybe. Really recently I saw they were updating the rumored Steam listing for that Returnal port. I would love that and Ghost to happen relatively soon. Uncharted should be coming out like next month, I think, on PC. I don't know. I think
Yeah,
in the
I
state
would
of play
love-
they announced that Uncharted 4 remaster.
yeah, I'd love to see them talk about that sort of thing. And I know they're saying third party, but I feel like that is announcements on the level of things that they would not post or they would not include in the big showcase, even though those are first party. And
PC to me
Yeah.
feels like something like that. Like we wouldn't
Yeah.
put it in the big showcase. Just hey,
well, yeah, that's what VR. Same thing.
yeah, I suppose so. And there was that story like was it the other day that some Sony financials being like, "Yo, we're really excited about the PC." So like, I don't know at some point, or maybe Horizon 2 even PC. I don't know. I'm just faffing around now. We can end this. Sorry.
It's all good. I mean, I think after this conversation, I am less excited than I was when the announcement happened, but I think that
I'm
was
sorry.
necessary. No, I
Yeah.
I think it was necessary because
Yeah,
it's not gonna be the thing that I think everybody's waiting for of God of War or factions or Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, anything like that. I don't think that this will be the show that everybody's been waiting for out of PlayStation. I think that is a ways out still. My guess is September. But yeah, in terms of third-party stuff, Final Fantasy 16 probably gonna be GOTY if it comes out this year. So
Of course.
maybe that'll look cool. Maybe it's gonna look good. You know,
I'm excited.
I'm excited for 16.
Yeah,
So.
me too. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
This is going to be like fine, and I can't be disappointed. But
yeah, that's exactly where I'm at too.
like, I don't know. I think Sony hasn't really put out an interesting show for me in a long time.
Yeah. Do you think that wouldn't change from a third-party showcase, right?
Sorry, what was that?
Like your feeling on the underwhelming stuff from them, that wouldn't budge based off of what they show at a third-party thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm more interested in third parties than their first party studios at this point.
Sure, yeah.
But like, yeah, I guess so, man. I don't know. I also feel like we really know what most of those first party studios are doing, right? Like that's the hard part. Like, I mean, Naughty Dog's a bit of a mystery. We know they're making a Last of Us remake and probably a Last of Us 3.
And The Last of Us multiplayer.
Right. And like, I don't know, maybe somewhere in there Uncharted's happening, but I don't think a new IP is happening, to be honest, which is the only thing I'd be shitting myself about. but third parties, even a lot of the cases, games get announced so far in advance these days. It feels like we really know most of the things happening.
Yeah, and according to everything else, it's like
Yeah.
every other project that the studios are working on that's not the one we know about is most likely a service game. So it's like probably using the IP that their main thing is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like there's not a ton of opportunity to be hugely surprised. If there is a first party thing at this showcase, that's the thing we will end on. If there's one first party thing.
Wait, before we end on this, I have one more thing.
Okay.
Amy Hennig, Marvel game is going to be here. I just realized.
Oh, I would be into seeing that here.
Me too.
That was announced last September, I think, August, something like that.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see it within the next month.
Do you think just like Spider-Man and Wolverine is just like a cinematic announcement of like what the character is or something?
Probably. We'll see what the IP is, and Sony likes to get those Marvel deals, right? That seems like what they're doing. They did that Avengers stuff.
Yeah. That seems to be a big priority for them right now. Just because, like, screw Infamous, right? We already have the larger superhero project, which is the smart move to do. But, yeah, I would love to see a new Amy Hennig thing here that's not related to Forspoken. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, again, in the blog, they don't say they're not going to show a first party thing. They're just saying what they're planning on showing. And they didn't say we're not showing God of War. Percent likelihood that God of War shows up here with a release date.
Okay, if it's not here, I think they acknowledge it somewhere where they say, hey, state of play next week. Because I think that game's this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I honestly would not be surprised. I kind of expect God of War to just be here for like a minute and be like, hey, September 2022. Because like I don't really think we need to see another trailer, to be honest.
Yeah,
but maybe
I'm at like a 75-80% chance it shows up at this. Just to the extent that you're saying, like maybe another short cinematic trailer with like, oh, what the fuck, Stinger, and then the date is revealed here.
Yeah.
Because unless they throw it to Keighley or just do a dedicated state of play for it, which they've done, right? Like Horizon got a dedicated state of play, Ghost got like a dedicated 20-minute state of play, a couple months out of release. But I think we knew the date already when those things happened, so yeah, I think if it doesn't show up here, there's still a chance that we get a full-blown God of War state of play at some point this summer. But yeah, if there's going to be one first-party thing at this, I think it is probably a very small thing with the announcement of the date.
So. Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
Ape Escape.
Well, Ape Escape.
Ape Escape.
Oh, man. Until this presentation goes down, I know for sure Kevin Diaz will be reacting to it on PlayStation Source. That's youtube.com/PlayStation Source. I'm sure you will probably do a video about the announcement too, maybe some predictions if you're curious to hear what Kevin thinks. Check that out. But Omar, until next time, until the next predictions talk and reaction, where can everybody find you? Anything you want to shout out?
I think you can find me here, really, and okay. Twitch. I don't know. I'm figuring stuff out. I'm around.
Hell yeah. You can check out anything that I'm doing or talking about, Twitter, TikTok, at Chun2D2. Again, here, youtube.com/Joyclicks. We will have other predictions, planning Nintendo predictions, and probably Xbox and the Keighley thing for the next week or so. We will be reacting to as many of these things as we feel like in the coming month. So stay tuned for all that stuff. But thanks for watching. Until next time, it's pizza time.
Did you say it's pizza time?
Yeah.
Alright, my bad. I didn't hear. I would have said it as well. But it's pizza time. If you're still recording, I don't know.
I'll keep it in there. I am.
Alright, cool.